Okay, we're back with episode 2 of Shadow and Bone. The first episode was a bit of started off a bit slowly. I think it's setting up a lot that's going to happen in the rest of the series. We met a couple of new characters, Nikolai, Wayland, who you were super excited about. As well as we had a couple of reunions of some of the older characters, Nina and the Crows meeting up again and so on. And then we got to see the Darkling and his new mutilation, which apparently only makes him hotter.
There's nothing wrong with Mal, guys. I'm sorry. Ben Barnes appeals more to me. I'm sure Mal appeals to a whole bunch of other people.
Ooh, and apparently this season's going to have pirates, which I'm very much looking forward to.
I also want to take a moment to apologize for having forgotten the book names. I have, in the meantime, checked on my bookshelf. And I had gotten the titles completely wrong. So it's Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Those are the two books.
Yeah, and I think we did mention it. They obviously skipped ahead in time a little bit because we were a bit confused as to why suddenly no one's on the boat and what happened at the end. Like things didn't quite line up.
Basically just ended on the boat and then they just skipped the boat trip, which I
time jump.
Kind of understand. You can't have all of your main characters just chilling on the boat having a conversation for how many ever days it took for this to happen.
And then we saw Genya reunite with her.
Have we forgotten again how to pronounce it?
with the Darkling. He didn't give her much choice, but we saw that they reunited.
Yeah, so I'm very interested to see which parts of the books they're going to keep true and which parts they're going to adapt to work with the storyline.
I'm curious if they're going to somehow overlap them again, or if they're now going to have like the Crow story run parallel like it is in the books versus... Which is what it looks like. It looks like they've banded together and they're going to do their own thing while, what's her name, Alina and the rest of them do their own thing on the other side. Ooh, different. Okay, so obviously this is like, depending on the episode. So he's not a baddie, but he's not a goodie either.
I say nothing.
That's the vibe I'm getting. He's a pirate, so he's going to do what pirates do, and that's just pirating.
I can't say anything. I literally can't say anything. Because it will ruin everything. Mal, you have no say in this. Let your girl speak.
I suppose if the stag existed, the sea wouldn't firebird might as well.
He knows things.
Of course he does, he's a pirate.
Privateer.
Pirate. Dressed like a pirate, looks like a pirate. Pirate music, he's a pirate.
What are we waiting for?
You see pirate, they're speaking pirate language. Cozy. Very different to the bed they were in the previous episode.
There'll be no fun time in this hammock. Or maybe they will.
We do this. We have the rest of our lives to make up for lost time.
Unless one of you dies. Okay, I'm no expert.
Who lies down and sleeps like that?
I was gonna say, with what they just went through, the adrenaline would be up here and you would not go to sleep for the next, 2 hours.
Not just that, who lies down and is like, oh.
Immediate sleepiness. Not
Oh man, so cheesy.
a trance. Also, I speak from experience, he's gonna need that hand to flip the page. Have you ever tried holding a book open and then with one finger try to flick the page across? Never works. And you damage the book that way. She's wearing a black dress too.
Is this not the dress she was wearing when they were on the boat? Or at that ball whenever they were?
No, she wasn't wearing it on the...
No, she was wearing it at the ball or party or whatever it was at some point.
So that was when she was accepting him as...
Yes. When they almost got...
Yes. Together. God, he's beautiful.
Well...
It's Genya.
Couldn't she fix him? She's a healer.
She's a tailor.
What?
A tailor.
She said she's a healer in the past episode.
Yeah, a tailor is a better healer, not a different healer. I think because of how the scars were made, she can't. I don't know if it's ever explained in the book, I can't remember. That answers that question. He is scarred in the book, so I don't think she can. Yeah, so she makes them better, but they stay there.
Just making him slightly less unattractive.
I think she's not. She was never trained as a healer.
She doesn't exactly look thrilled.
Yeah, but if you remember from season 1, he also basically gifted her to the king, and the king was abusing her. And that's why he basically created this environment where technically it was his fault because he gave her to the king, but then the king and the queen, well, the king, for lack of a better word, raped her, and the queen didn't care, and used her powers for whenever she wanted to make her hate the normal humans.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, technically, it's back on him because he gave her away in the first place, and that's why she betrayed Alina, and that's why she said that line, "Be cautious of powerful men." You're really playing with fire, aren't you?
Who is he to him?
Some of it will be explained. I don't want to give too much away because
Is it like an orphanage or?
it's not been explained yet, so I can't really give you too much away, but he was in the first movie as well. He's basically the big boss of Ketterdam, who kind of like he's like the big mob boss.
Yeah.
And
But
everyone else is kind of below him, and Kaz is the only one who, from a smartness point of view, has been slowly
But he's the
crumbling
man in
away
his
at-
visions.
Yes.
So why? Is he a daddy or?
I can't tell you. Hopefully it'll get explained.
I assume so, because otherwise I wouldn't put the visions and stuff in. I was just wondering because
There
there's
are
obviously some
Yes.
family or something relationship or something.
There is a relationship, and hopefully it'll get explained, otherwise I'll have to explain it at one point, but I don't want to give it away because they might show it at one point.
I'm sure they will, because he's obviously a fairly big part of the story. He's been in brother.
Geordie is his brother.
Okay.
Yeah. His older brother.
And I assume he abused him or something. Camera angle suggests intimidation.
Also hate the fact that they still haven't used one of the biggest catchphrases in the books is scheming face. And they still haven't used it, not in season 1 and not in season 2.
Is this place still serving breakfast?
Good enough.
How do you feel, boy? It's not enough to kill him.
Okay, so there's also some deep-rooted hatred here.
Oh, you have no
Not
idea.
just abuse, but something else happened.
Killing him.
I love a good heist.
It looks like a typical office building.
Where did Nina go? Is Nina going to do this casually on her own somehow?
So, nothing for me to shoot.
Typical bank robbery job, isn't it?
I love the Ocean's vibes with the...
Filmed like that. The Ocean's 11 intro. Or when they discuss the job.
You're seeing the plan being explained while the plan is happening and so on.
Just keep your eyes open around Stonewall. I think he's hiding something.
Gee, I think he's a pirate.
Privateer!
Find that clear.
Pirate.
Where's the rum? Where's the rum always gone? Pirate music. Very epic and lots of strings always.
Yes, both Oxazatsia and Grisha. That's great.
Can we put her in some pants?
No.
Like this is...
So, Starkov. A lucky compass.
Mate, I think you can only track on land.
Okay, then tracker.
No, but Mal is at least in the book. He's described as being like some kind of
Based on the position of
magical creature when it comes to tracking.
based on the direction that we're sailing in and based on that way.
And look, now he's interested.
Earned his respect. You might want to explain her the game first.
Is that a shark's tooth? Capricia? What order? Talia and I don't really do that, but if we were
Are they a couple?
we would be horrendous.
Or are they just pirate buddies?
I don't remember. Are they together? Are they siblings? Little brother.
I feel like you're sharing a lot of valuable information with a lot of people you don't really know.
Yeah, but we need to move the plot forward.
Experts in uncharted waters. Deal us in, brother.
Especially the pirates.
Ready to test their mettle.
The job is double crossing.
Mm-hmm.
He has 0 patience left. Interesting that we're going to his story immediately. That was definitely done on purpose. Secrecy is never an answer.
Survival?
It always bites you in the ass. Exactly. How much does he care for the rest of them?
Trust is the other side of secrecy, Kaz. Remember that.
Preach, Inosh, preach.
Ah, see what that feels like.
To be fair, that's pretty much her trademark. All I can think about is that she's hiding behind a barrel somewhere now going, okay, there's no one looking.
Like when Batman disappears. God, he doesn't do. Oh, he's just hiding somewhere waiting for the guy to disappear.
Please tell him we give them proper consideration.
He's not a rat, mate. He's a crow.
It's a brief change to make use of an eastern wind. Make that a
See, he's already being dodgy. He's a pirate.
No client of yours can do what I can do.
fair enough. That's not what this is about, is it?
She doesn't want to be a symbol. She just wants to
What can I
Be-
do?
live on a farm with Mal.
Yes, but as we know, for all heroes, that's not the case that's going to happen. I don't trust her. She seems shady.
Thanks to navigation,
Her and her brother.
our summoner's tracker friend here. We traversed
I can't
the
say
boat road
anything.
to the island of Joker. As for the sea whip, we have some storybook drawings. No telling what it really looks like. Rule of thumb for the unknown. Come prepared.
We keep all of our weapons behind this fantastic little curtain with the pulley bar. He has a love for gadgets, science, inventions.
Oh, the cable's fabricator made. Tensile strength of 80,000.
And I was like, why are you two so close all of a sudden? What's up with
What
that?
do people say? In fact, my inventions are all around. We just have to know where to look. So we're going quietly on Miss Starkle's
I know what
orders.
that means.
Dangerous for your death blood.
The boat.
Yes. I did say in episode 1, it's a special boat. This
Gee,
looks
that looks
like a
ominous.
fun place to be.
If I were a mythical beast, that's where I'd go live.
How do you know? Just gut feeling?
There's a frequency. I've heard it before.
Enthralling music plays, darling.
Take place.
His patience is about...
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to answer the question I wrote down earlier. It's probably the journal of the main guy with the amplifiers.
I never opened it, as I promised. Are you sure?
Don't question him. Can you see how tense
He
he
looks
is?
like he's about
2 seconds
2
away from
seconds
taking
away
people's
from-
heads. It's basically the Red Queen at this point. That is going to answer my question.
Hello, Mother.
Yeah. She betrayed him, remember?
Mm.
You've kept me in this hellhole for weeks. And even I look better than you.
the much feared Mother Burn.
She's the only person he has had all these years.
This is such a piratey location, even.
Who doesn't like having wet leather pants on? And wet boots? So considering Alina is like the most likely to be able to tame this thing, maybe we should
Hey, she's wearing pants.
move her forward. Thank God we have so many Grisha with us. How big are these holes? Can we give us more location or more ideas? Not that someone goes thump and just like...
Disappears.
I'm picturing that video with the duck that goes into the hole and just like disappears into nothing. Someone's going to get pulled
Yeah,
under.
it's gonna be water bender over there.
Who's getting pulled under? Ah. Always look up! We all know this.
Conserve your ammo, or we'll be dry by the time we need it.
Use your powers, Alina.
Hello, beastie. Hey, beastie.
She just zapped sunlight straight through its head. That seemed too easy to anyone? Kinda seems too easy to me.
Yes, tiny little girl holding up big man. And I mean, it's not like physics doesn't apply.
I assume there's a reason why we are choosing to do it this way.
No, I'm just talking about the physics of it. She's still holding him up. Seems unlikely to me.
Inej is not normal. Inej is great. Trying to apply logic to a show that has magic.
You should know that
Well, they're going to become an item.
Maybe.
The close proximity suggests it. Time to face your demons.
Midnight. Follow him.
I don't think you should.
It's a trap, mate.
It stinks, guys.
Whoa! He's gone.
He was never there, guys.
This isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
I thought I'd cut to the chase.
I've read the books and I'm worried.
I don't want blood on my furniture.
You didn't seem to care last episode when you shot the guy in your living room.
He already cost me enough money by blowing up my club.
My club.
Before I kill you, I want you to know that I brought in a madman to capture your wraith. Sorry.
And of all the things he could have said to make Kaz focus on something else, that was the one.
So he obviously knows him very, very well.
I don't think he knows him that well. I don't think he knows that this will be a game changer. He made a mistake, Pekka, in thinking that Kaz doesn't care. Gross.
It's the creepy ass mask.
Harm your value.
He calls himself the taxidermist. Don't remember him being in the book.
So there's possibility for a plot twist here.
But there's a similar-ish,
Character.
not character, but like storyline-ish. But he's definitely not in it. Come on, girl. You're better than this. I don't like it!
We have met before, haven't we? Yes, but
Is this
Now?
the right time?
you remember that now.
Jasper!
He's doing a lot better than What's-Her-Face is doing.
To be fair, he's fighting normal goons. Don't stand a chance against the main character.
Who's Henrietta? Ah, the minigun. Good thing this wagon is bulletproof.
But also, let's not forget that Jasper is a... What are they called?
The dearest.
Which means he really can curve bullets.
Giving major creep vibes.
I'm gonna sleep well. Meet the newest member of my crew.
That didn't go as planned. Nina, you're slipping. Come on, Ines, run.
He's major creepy,
Yeah.
man.
You meet him in the street, you
Put the
walk the
mask
other
back.
way.
Put the mask back on, it looks better. A threesome.
The team up every fan has waited for. Yeah, save each other. Be together. We love you. He did not just go back into the car to fetch his goddamn hat.
Says, look, he needs his hat.
Don't get scary when you catch me.
Yeah, Nina knows how to fight, guys. She was taught by Kerrigan after all. She was part of the army. Fun with that.
Skadoosh. Kaz survives this.
This didn't go as planned. He's extra motivated now. You've pissed
Take
him
him.
off.
But now what happened with the creature thingy?
Let us bow our heads for the crew lost
Give
today.
it a minute.
Yeah, but
She's finally in pants.
she wasn't pants when they were in the water.
May the
I know,
saints
but-
receive them on a brighter shore.
They're keeping her in pants is what I mean.
Alina, we're ready.
My god, we're jumping so
That's what I'm
fast.
saying, like,
Some of these transitions are a little bit...
too hectic. Like, what's
Like,
happening
nothing
with
happened.
with the sea creature thingy?
Well, the main thing is that...
Because isn't she supposed to mend with it when
Yes.
as it dies?
But what I meant is the entire show that they just showed us with the
Yeah, why not
pirates was
just-
kind of unnecessary, except that we were putting the pirates that died to rest.
And I thought she has to mix with it.
I'm assuming that's coming at some point.
Yeah, but I thought she has to mix with it as it dies or something.
No, she technically has to be the... She doesn't even need to be the one to kill it, because
Exactly, because he killed the stag.
Technically, she just needs a part of it to be merged with it. Because, I mean, the stag, they just took the antlers.
There's
They're
obviously some
jumping.
form of.
Yeah. He's gonna feel it, I assume. There, they had the scales.
Ah. What is she seeing?
Seeing the last visions of the
Creature.
He's like,
This is neat. Are they linked somehow?
Fine. Second scale,
Yes.
please.
Again, there's time for this.
She likes using the powers. I think that's what they're trying to convey.
Well, that's what I wrote down. Power hungry.
Well then, where to now, Sopra?
You've grown stronger, my Alina.
Sinister music is playing. Dun, dun, dun.
That was a lot. I thought it would have taken longer for them to find the amplifiers.
So I follow some of the actors on Instagram, and I think they posted something that I would consider a spoiler because I know how the story ends. And I think the book storylines, at least for Shadow and Bone, is going to finish at the end of season 2. So I think that's why they're fast forwarding.
So that's the series is gonna end there.
No, so there are more books in the... For one, I don't know where the Crows will finish, but there's also extra books afterwards with some of the other characters that continue. I don't want to tell you which characters because it might give away who stays and doesn't. But from what I saw, if I think what I saw is what I saw, then basically the end of season 2, I assume, will be the end of book 3 in Shadow and Bone. So that's why I think they're going quite fast.
Are the is she interacting with the premonitions or what's happening? Like, it seems like she can talk to him, but
Yes, so...
But then he
That
doesn't have
relates
scars
back-
and all that. Or
So that
like
relates
his
back
premonition as well,
to the
that they're
books.
linked.
They are linked.
Is he getting stronger as like?
I think he links with her more. It's usually him who has the power to link with her. But I think, if I remember correctly, by the end of book 3, she can occasionally, if she focuses, also see him when they're both... I think he can do it when he's awake as well. I think she needs to be asleep.
She's obviously not aware that he can link with her.
But that's because he's older, more experienced, stronger. And like he said, I mean, he keeps saying it since season 1, like calls to like. And they are unique in that way, the both of them.
And then the plot twist of the episode, I suppose, is that he's keeping Mommy alive.
Not really. Mommy was alive in the books as well. I was just wondering, because we hadn't seen her yet, whether they had strayed from that or if they hadn't gotten the actress back or whatever. So she's back. So everything in that is...
What's her name in Harry Potter?
The
She's
flying, the broomstick.
the worst Quidditch referee in history.
So the
These kids
worst-
are beating each other up. Who cares?
Also the worst flying teacher in history as well.
I mean, I remember her mainly from my family.
So what has changed, which isn't in the books, is his illness. That's completely new to me. It seems to be a side effect of, because in the books it's also not like, in the books he isn't linked to her. That's from season 1. He put the collar on her, and he had a piece of the stag put into his hand.
Yes.
And that's how they were linked. In the book it's not like that. She just has the color. And it seems to be a side effect of having that piece of amplifier left in him that seems to be making him sick, as well as using the dark powers. So I don't
It
know
also
which
seems to me
is-
like he's becoming more desperate.
She isn't in the book, so that's also stepping away. In the book, he is very calm pretty much the entire... He's very calculated, very cold, and he genuinely, and I'm kind of losing that here. In the book, he is very much...
In the previous
In
season,
love.
he was also very like...
very focused, very cold, a little bit like Kaz, but less volatile.
Now
Because
he's a
he's
bit...
older.
He looks a bit like he's rushing things and he's
Yeah.
scared almost.
Yeah, and in the books he's very focused on his end product, where he wants Grisha to be safe, and he keeps bringing that back. He doesn't mistreat any of the Grishas that are on his side. He's actually very much pro. He's actually, in the books, he's described pretty much as nearly a good guy. They don't make... And no point in the book, except for what some of the actions he doesn't really come across as really a baddie. And he very much seems to care for Alina in the books. He's very, like, whenever he talks to her, it's very respectful, it's very calming, it's very... I am the one who understands you, but you also understand me. And it's very... Obviously, it's a little... Psychologically, he's still not well off. But he doesn't feel as unhinged as in the 2 episodes now, especially this one. He feels very unhinged to me. Like, he's very short. He's very... Like, he now feels a little...
He looks like he's out for vengeance.
Yeah, he's not...
Speaking
feeling
of
so great.
vengeance,
Speaking of vengeance, the Crows.
or Kaz specifically, seems to have some deep-rooted
Yeah.
daddy issues almost.
So I'm not getting into that too much because I don't want to give anything away, because I assume they will explain it, because they are giving us flashes more and more. It's a pretty hectic backstory that explains everything, and there's a lot of hatred there, yes.
Yeah, well, you can see that. I mean, he's like taking his whole crew on his little vengeful trip, putting them in danger. They almost...
I mean,
All of them almost died.
one key factor should be fairly obvious from what we've seen so far. Specifically that they showed his brother.
I assume the man killed his brother or something happened along
Well,
those
his brother
lines.
isn't there anymore, so...
Yes. So that's why
Surely if you had a brother that you were close to, and
He would still be there.
he would still be around, or he would be mentioned, at least he isn't. So it links back to the brother. And it links back to the scene that they showed in episode 1 with the flashback, where he was in the cart and he was panicking. But I don't want to get into it too much because...
it's obviously like the main focus of their story this season.
Which I believe is Crooked Kingdom. I think that's the second book of the Crows, where they focus on that mostly. So new character, because I don't think the taxidermist was in the book.
Creepy as all heck.
Yeah.
He's better off with a mask on.
So they have a character that goes up against Inej in the second book, but I don't remember
Also,
him.
is he like immortal or something? Because she stabbed him like 2 or 3 times, and
I
or was he
genuinely
wearing
don't
some
know.
fancy armor or what?
I genuinely don't know, and I don't remember him at all from the books. I might be wrong. If I am, please post it in the comments. Maybe I should reread these books at some point. But I don't remember him, so I think he is new. The key part with the Crows is it either goes either way with them. Either it's worked out to a T and it all works out, or it goes terribly, terribly wrong, but they still kind of make it out somehow because they're all kind of like cockroaches. In a really good way. Like, they'll always find a way out. They have to claw their way out. Yeah, going after Inej, Pekka going after Inej is book accurate. I wonder if they'll be more accurate later, or if this was it. Because there is a part in the book where Kaz needs to make a choice specifically about Inej, and I hope that that's gonna come up. So I'm gonna leave that at that. So happy that they keep pairing up Jesper and Wayland. Because yes, they are in the book, they hook up at some point. And they're kind of like I think they're the ones that everyone in the book loves, because their relationship is it's bickering the entire time. And it's great. It's wonderful. And I think it's great that in the books they obviously had a same-sex couple. And that Jesper is kind of like, I mean, they proved it in season 1 when he hooked up with a stable hand. As a distraction. Yeah, I love that. It's just like thrown into the story, and it's not like what I love about the books, and they're doing it here as well. It's like it was never a big deal. Like the author wrote it in a way that it was never like, it was just like
not
something
like
that's it's
just
accepted, it's okay, there's like no faff about it.
Not like the woman empowerment scene in Endgame.
Like, they don't make a fuss about it. I don't even think in the book that there's any moment where it's mentioned that it wouldn't be okay for them to be together. And I like that it's so casual.
Yeah.
Because it actually takes a really serious matter, but instead of using it as a money-making, look, we are catering for everybody. I feel like sometimes it's just easier to cater for everybody, but you don't need to show us that you did. In a way that's like, here, please look, we did it.
Exactly, like we're doing this to be socially or politically acceptable these days. Instead, it's just like,
and it feels fake.
Let's move on with
it feels fake. It feels fake.
Forced.
Where it's more realistic, and how life should be is just it happens, we accept it, we move on. We don't need to make a big fuss about it. So it's more life accurate in how life should be, and I love that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them hopefully
draw that out better.
And play
and
with
hopefully
it so
play
much.
it as accurate or
cool.
nicely as it is in the book.
Yeah, keep playing it cool, keep putting them together in the show, so that they can also have that bounce off each other, which is really fun. And it'll be the comedic relief for this. As to the other pairing we'll have, that's going to be, we have a couple of pairings in the Crows.
Anyways, that was episode 2. If you enjoyed this, do us a favor and like the video. I'll link episode 1 up here.
Subscribe for more content. We are gonna start
doing some other series as well.
Some other series. Mandalorian, I believe, is coming up.
Well, it's out already. You need to finish watching seasons 1 and 2.
I watched season 1, but I couldn't remember that much, so I'm quickly binging season 1 and then season 2, which I haven't seen yet, because he's seen it, so we don't want to react to it again. And then we'll jump onto season 3 as soon as possible, hopefully
and
by
what's
next
the other
week.
one? We wanted to try out an anime, Cyberpunk.
You'll see it when it pops up. Subscribe so you can see what we react to. And then we'll slowly start setting up a schedule of when we react to what, and when we'll have series, we'll have potentially some challenges that we're looking forward to doing.
It's Cyberpunk and Edge Runners, which we want to look out. I always struggle with animes, but apparently it's getting really great reviews. A lot of people are enjoying it, so we're going to give that a try as well. So if you're keen on that kind of stuff, she's going to do some more BTS stuff and dance choreography. If you haven't seen the dance choreography video, that should be out already as well. I'll also link it at the top and in the description, and you can check those out as well. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.